And it's time to wrap this broadcast up with the Alderson's Award West postgame show for trophies, awards, t-shirts, and so much more. Go to aldersons.net for their full catalog. Welcome back to Tumwater District Stadium. I'm Josh Kaiser alongside Keith Clark and Kerry Clark. And for those of you watching live or on demand, or if you are watching this postgame show in the recap on Eli Sports Network, well, here's how we got to this point. Final tonight, once again, check my notes here, was 42-24, and honestly, this was a little bit of a slugfest between two squads that were really wanting that victory tonight. And as you can see there, Washington improving to 2-0, Black Hills falling to 0-2.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of scoring, like over 60-point scoring, so it makes for exciting football and makes the mistakes and the special teams, even show more. And so, we were talking during the break that the turnovers and the mistakes by Black Hills, cost them, because this wasn't – it was closer than the score appeared. I mean, it was 42 to 24. Black Hills missing all of their PATs, and they were technically only down 2 touchdowns by the end of the game. With that said, great football game, good matchup. Athletes, matched up really well. A lot of exciting plays, just a good football game.
And we'll do a quick little scoring recap here to see how we got to this final here tonight. Going all the way back to the first quarter, it was Tui have I said the name for a little bit? Tui Vayave with 6:50 remaining in the first quarter. Again, that 2-yard run to put the Patriots up 7-0, and that would be the way the first quarter ended. Black Hills would see their way onto the board with the freshman making his first start, Jackson Beck, with a 1-yard run. PAT was no good, as he touched on, put the score to 7-6. Black Hills wasn't done yet. Less than a minute later, Max Johnson with a 55-yard pick six really felt the momentum shift at that point in time, as Black Hills would go on top 12-7, but Washington would go on a little bit of a scoring streak there with a 76-yard touchdown pass from Elliott to Boston. PAT was good, putting them up 14-12, and with a minute 42 left on the clock, so late in the first half. And Nixon would find pay dirt from 6 yards out to help push that lead to 21-12, so our halftime score was that 21-12 mark. And then in the second half, Nixon, said this name a few times tonight, with 8:16 on the clock in the third with a 19-yard run. PAT was good to push the lead to 28-12. And then Nixon again with probably the play of the game, a 90-yard touchdown run with 4:47 remaining in the third quarter to push that lead to 35-12. And that was an exciting play here for that Washington team.
Absolutely.
Black Hills was not done, though, stalling, finding the end zone with a 5-yard run. The 2-point try was no good, leaving the score 35-18. That's how we stood at the end of 3. And then Washington, once again, a little bit of an insurance score. Elliott to Boston for a 22-yard catch. Nice little dance on the sidelines to make the defender miss. As he would go into the end zone. Point after was good once again to push it to 42-18. And then Black Hills would find the scoreboard once again. Beck reaching Bond on a 20-yard pass. The 2-point conversion no good, bringing us to our final of 42-24. Any thoughts? I mean, I know we've touched on several in this game, but now that this one's gone final, thoughts on both teams?
I'd say for Black Hills that much improved from last week's performance. A ton of mistakes last week and just a little bit sloppier. This week they cleaned up some stuff. Still made some more mistakes than you'd like to see from your football team. But then as far as Washington, they are as advertised. They got a lot of speed, a lot of good athletes, and a pretty big offensive line. And that big offensive line just leaned on Black Hills in the second half on their smaller defensive line. So but both these teams are going to win a lot of ball games this year. And two good programs going in the right direction, even though Black Hills is 0-2, but they're definitely going to turn it around.
Well, what do you think about naming maybe our MVPs of this one tonight?
Yeah, we can do that for sure.
All righty. So first we'll do the visitor on the scoreboard. Our visiting team MVP is brought to you by Pacific Sports Spa in Chehalis. Pacific Sports Spa can get you back in the game in a hurry and is the leader in rapid recovery and get you game ready at Pacific Sports Spa. So we had a little discussion about this one. There was a couple players worthy of it. Elliott, of course, the quarterback here for Washington, and then Nixon with the 3 touchdowns on the ground. And I think at least I was leaning a little more towards Nixon. And
yeah,
could have gone either way.
Yeah, for sure. I think he actually convinced me, though, with Nixon. Like I said, with that 90-yard touchdown run and getting in the end zone 3 times is, a pretty good candidate for MVP. So I definitely go with Nixon. And, a 90-yard run from a running back in high school, you don't see that very often. And usually, they don't have the speed to take it all the distance like that. So good job by him.
And an honorable mention on that 90-yard touchdown run by the receiver with about 3 blocks along the way.
Absolutely. Yeah,
and
all the way down the sidelines.
Step.
Yep.
And over for Black Hill. Oh, you got another thought on it?
Oh, no.
No, okay. I didn't mean to cut you off if I did there. Let's see. And then time for our home side of things. Our home team MVP is brought to you by Thorbeck's Wellness Center in Chehalis, Centralia, and South Bend. Strong today, strong tomorrow, strong together at Thorbeck's. And the home side of things, I'll let you take this one away.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Beck with the freshman quarterback. Very impressive all night. Did not look like a freshman. He looked like a senior out there playing, making great decisions, and tough. I mean, he carried the ball a lot, got tackled quite a bit, made some really good throws, had some really nice touch passes. So not just because he's a freshman, I just think his performance tonight, stepping in as a starting for the first time, did a good job and definitely deserves the MVP on the home side.
No, I'd be hard-pressed to disagree. Like you said, freshman making his first start. Did not play like a freshman. Had that 1-yard touchdown run and a pretty good-looking touchdown pass as well. Put it where only his guy could bring it in from
Absolutely.
20 yards out. And that's a throw, juniors and seniors can't make, so it's very impressive.
And if I had to give a honorable mention for the Black Hill side, I would say their special teams. Their special teams played really well all night and made a lot of big plays. So they're going to get together. Just going to bring the mistakes down a little bit.
No, and compare, I didn't get to watch video on it, and from what you saw and what we heard about some of the fans around us, Black Hills looked much improved this week, and that is what you want to hear, especially early in the year with kind of the games that are coming up for them.
Absolutely.
Well, I guess that'll put a wrap on this game again. Once again, our final score tonight, Washington 42, Black Hills 24. We'll see you next time right here on the Eli and NFHS Sports Network.